Good day everyone, we are from Group 5 and we are going to report the MARPOL Annex 5. So, what is MARPOL Annex 5 all about? MARPOL Annex 5 is a set of regulations that aims to reduce the amount of garbage that ships release into the ocean. To better understand, watch the full video so we can widen our knowledge about MARPOL Annex 5.
So for purposes of Annex 5, we have here some pollution prevention, regulation of garbage types, promotion of best practices, and establishment of reception facilities. So pollution prevention. So the Annex aims to climate the discharge of all garbage from ships into the sea. So except under specific condition, it recognizes the ships generated waste can be harmful to marine life as all are chemical spills, particularly plastics which can persist in the ocean for years. And regulation of garbage types. Annex 5 comprehensively defines garbage to include a wide range of waste type, such as food waste, domestic waste, operational waste, plastic, and cargo residues. This broad definition ensures the various waste of products generated during a ship normal operations are included in the regulation. So next, the promotion of best practices. The Annex 5 encourage the development and implementation of waste management plans by ships, which should outline procedures minimizing and managing waste generated on board. So lastly, we have establishment of reception facilities. Annex 5 mandates the ports and terminals provide adequate reception facilities for handling garbage from ships, ensuring the waste can be disposed or responsibly on shore and reducing the incentive for ships and discharge waste at sea. So that's all for the purpose of Annex 5. Let's go here for the definition of terms of Annex 5. So we have garbage, damage, cargo residues, operational waste, special areas, port reception facilities, garbage record book, and lastly, the preservation of the record. So, garbage. Under MARPOL Annex 5, garbage encompasses all kinds of food, domestic waste, operational waste, plastic, cargo residues, incinerator ashes, cooking oil, fishing gear, and animal carcasses that are generated during normal ship operations. However, it excludes fresh fish and parts of thereof generated from fishing activities during the voyage of aquaculture activities. So next is the dunnage. Refers to materials used to protect cargo during transport. These can include wooden or cardboard materials that are often discharged as garbage after cargo handling. The next is the cargo residues. So these consist of remnants of any cargo that are left in the holds or on deck or the completion of loading or unloading. Cargo residues must adhere to specific regulations concerning discharge. Operational waste. This includes waste generated from the routine operations of the ship, including cargo residues and food waste. Proper management and disposal of operational waste are critical for compliance with MARPOL. So next is special areas. These are specific regions identified by MARPOL where stricter controls apply due to their ecological sensitivity. This includes areas like the Mediter- Mediterranean Sea, and Baltic Sea, where additional regulation concerning waste disposal are enforced. So next is port reception facilities. These are facilities provided that are ports terminals for the reception of waste generated by ships. This must be adequate to meet the needs of vessels and must not cause undue delay to ships. Next is garbage record book. A log that must be maintained on board all ships of 100 gross tonnage and above, as well as carrying 15 or more persons. It records all disposal and incinerations operations related to garbage, ensuring traceability and compliance with MARPOL regulations. So here's the last definition of terms of Annex 5. So we have here the preservation of the record. So the garbage record book must be kept on board the ship and should be preserved for a specified periods as required by MARPOL regulation. This is important in case of inspection by maritime authorities and for future reference to ensure the ongoing compliance with waste management policies. So that's all for the purpose of Annex 5 and the definition.
The general provision under MARPOL Annex 5. So what is it? It is ito yung nagsusulong na mabawasan yung garbage na naitatapon ng isang vessel. Kumbaga ito yung tumutulong sa kalikasan din para maging malinis. Kahit ang dami naglalayag na vessel, kahit katulad ng commercial vessel, fishing vessel, recreational vessel. Lahat ng bansa na nakasakop dito, pinipilit nila na matupad yung law na yun para sa pangkalat. Prohibition. Katulad ng plastic, including ropes, fishing nets, then plastic bags. Tapos yung mga food waste katulad ng organic waste, disposal ng mga food waste. Then cargo residues. Yung mga harmful na sa environment na mga materials katulad ng pag naglilinis ka sa barko. Impact of general prohibition. Marine environmental protection. That general prohibition significantly contributes to the conservation of marine ecosystem by reducing the amount of waste entering the ocean. This is crucial for preventing the degradation of habitats and protection marine biology. Encouragement of waste management practice. By enforcing a strict prohibition on garbage discharge, that regulation encourages ships to adopt effects waste management practice, including recycling, proper disposal, and the use of reception of facilities in ports. International cooperation. The general prohibition fostered international cooperation among the nations to achieve cleaner ocean. A special area in MARPOL Annex 5, Mediterranean Sea Area, Baltic Sea Area, Black Sea Area, Red Sea Area, Gulf Area. This includes the Arabian Gulf and other coastal regions. North Sea Area, Antarctic Area, Winter Caribbean
region that encompasses the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea. Inside in a special area. Hanggang sa lupa, 12 nautical miles palayo. Pwede na magtapon ng ground food waste, then yung mga cleaning agent na hindi nakaka-harmful sa mga coral. Outside ng special area, 100 nautical miles, pwede na magtapon ng mga patay na hayop. Katulad ng kambing na pag yung sasakyan nyo is cargo. Basta anything na may patay na hayop. Then sa naman, pag sa yung length niya is 12 meters na, dapat meron na din siya ng book, garbage book. Doon sila maglalagin. May nakalagay doon na category. Then kung anong ruta nila, tas kung anong location sila nag-stop magtapon. Then may sign to ng officer on watch on deck. Then master.
Now, let's talk about garbage management system under MARPOL Annex 5. Every ship of 100 gross tonnage and above, and every ship certified to carry 15 or more persons is required to carry a garbage management plan. The garbage management plan contains procedures for collecting, storing, processing, and discharge of garbage, including the use of equipment on board. Dito daw po sa garbage management system, lahat ng barko na 100 gross tonnage pataas at lahat ng barko na kaya magsakay ng 15 persons dapat mayroong garbage management plan na dala. Siyempre, para mas mapaayos ang sistema ng pagtatapon ng basura at maiwasan ang environmental and health hazards. Now, let's talk about garbage management system components. Garbage record book. Dapat ang mga barko ay mayroong garbage book para ma-record ang mga disposal o pagtatapon ng mga basura at incineration activities, which is sinusunog ang mga waste materials para mag-abo ito at para mapadali ang pagtapon ng mga basura. Next, we have categorization of garbage under Annex 5. Garbage is categorized with each specific disposal regulations. First, we have plastic. Disposal at sea is prohibited. Alam naman na natin ang plastic ay hindi nabubulok kaya bawal ito itapon sa dagat. Next, we have food waste. Food waste can be discharged under certain conditions depending on distance from shore. Pwede daw magtapon ng mga basura pero dapat pasok sa standard na distansya galing sa pangpang. Next, we have operational waste. Typically includes material generated in the ship's operations. Restrictions apply based on type. Dito naman, ito yung mga harmless materials na ginagamit natin sa barko. Example, yung mga cleaning agents at maintenance waste katulad ng anchor wash water at marami pang iba. Next, we have waste segregation. Implementing effective segregation of waste on board ensures that harmful materials are not mixed and allows for easier disposal in compliance with Annex 5 guidelines. Dapat daw po sa isang barko, nag-i-implement tayo ng segregation of waste system para masigurado na di maghahalo-halo ang mga harmful materials at para mas mapadali ang pagtatapon nito. Next, we have training and awareness. Crew members must be trained on the garbage management procedures and the importance of compliance with MARPOL Annex 5 regulations. This includes knowledge about prohibited materials and disposal methods. Dapat ang mga crew ay sumasailalim sa mga garbage management trainings para malaman nila kung paano yung procedure nito at syempre, malaman nila ang kahalagahan ng pagsunod sa rules and regulations ng MARPOL Annex 5. Especially, ito ay makakatulong sa marine environment. Next, we have port reception facilities. Ships should utilize port facilities to dispose of garbage responsibly. Ports must provide adequate facilities that can handle various types of waste. Prior to arrival, the ship's crew should check the capabilities of the reception facilities in the destination port. Dapat daw po nagagamit ng mga barko yung mga port facilities para mas mapaayos ang pagtapon ng basura. Siyempre, dapat pasok sa standards ang mga facilities na ito para ma-handle nito ang kahit anumang type ng basura na galing sa barko. Lastly, we have reporting procedures. In cases where the ship cannot comply with disposal requirements due to inadequate reception facilities, reporting mechanisms should be in place to inform the necessary authorities. Dito naman, kapag ang isang barko ay di magamit ang reception facilities dahil hindi ito pasok sa standards, dapat daw marunong tayo mag-report sa mga authorities. Now, let's talk about reception facilities. Reception facilities under MARPOL Annex 5 are essential components of the regulatory framework, designed to prevent pollution from ships by providing appropriate means for the disposal of ship-generated waste. Ang reception facilities daw ay mahalaga para sa mga barko dahil ito ay ginawa para makatulong maiwasan ang mga polusyon, lalong-lalo na sa mga basura galing barko. So, what is the purpose and importance of reception facilities? Well, reception facilities are designated sites in ports na tumatanggap ng iba't ibang klase ng basura galing sa barko para masigurado ang tamang pagtapon ng basura at para maprotektahan ang marine environment. Their existence is crucial for vessels to comply with MARPOL Annex 5, which aims to eliminate the discharge of garbage into the sea.
MARPOL Annex 5, part of the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, regulates the disposal of garbage from ships to prevent marine pollution. Exemption under Annex 5 apply in a specific situation allowing certain discharges when strict conditions are met. Example of Annex 5 exemption. Number 1. Food waste. Discharge of food waste is allowed but must be ground to specific sizes and only discharged at a specified distance from shore. Food waste discharged from ships is allowed if it is ground to 25 mm or smaller and released at least 3 nautical miles from shore, while unground food waste must be discharged at 12 nautical miles from shore, per MARPOL regulation to protect marine environment. Number 2. Cargo residues. Discharge of cargo residues from cargoes not classified as harmful to the marine environment is allowed in limited circumstances such as if they are non-hazardous and far from shore. Under MARPOL regulation, ships can discharge non-harmful cargo residues if they meet certain conditions. They must be at least 12 nautical miles from shore, and the residue should not be hazardous in designated special areas. Stricter rules may apply, potentially prohibiting discharge altogether. Number 3. Cleaning agents. Some cleaning agents and additives in wash water from cargo holds or external surfaces may be discharged if they don't harm the environment. The cleaning agent must not be toxic to marine life. Harmful chemicals or pollutants that could impact aquatic ecosystem are strictly prohibited. The substance should not contain hazardous components like certain heavy metals or chemicals that exceed safe concentration limits. The cleaning agent must meet local or international regulation, focus on protecting the environment. This compliance ensures that the only two substances deemed environmentally friendly and safe for marine ecosystem are discharged. Number 4. Animal carcasses. If an animal discharge may be allowed if certain regulations are met and it's far from shore. If an animal dies naturally on board, a ship discharging the carcass into the sea may be allowed under strict regulation. This generally requires the ships to be far from shore, at least 12 nautical miles in deep water and away from sensitive ecosystems. Compliance with the local laws, International Marine Organization (IMO) guideline is essential to minimize environmental impact. Lastly, exemption for specific voyage. Some exemptions apply for ships or certain routes or an emergency situation with proper authorization by the government. Ships on designated domestic routes like ferries may have different regulatory requirements than international vessels. Vessels involved in rescue mission or disaster relief can bypass certain regulation to respond quickly and effectively. Ships must often obtain permission from authorities to qualify for exemption, ensuring that safety and regulatory standards are still upheld.
Impact of the garbage on the marine environment. Ang basura sa marine environment ay nagdudulot ng malubhang epekto sa kalikasan at sa mga nilalang na ninirahan dito. Ang mga plastik na pangunahing uri ng basura na natatagpuan sa dagat at may direktang epekto sa mga hayop na pandagat. Ang mga hayop tulad ng pagong, ibon at isda ay madalas na nagpapalagay ng pagkain plastik, kaya't ang kanilang nakain ito. Dahil dito, nagkakaroon sila ng pinsala sa loob ng katawan na nagdudulot ng malnutrition, sugat o kamatayan. Ang pagkakalason o pagkakasakal sa plastik ay isa lamang sa mga pisikal na panganib na hatid ng basura. Ang iba pang uri ng basura sa dagat ay naglalabas ng mga chemical na nagiging sanhi ng kontaminasyon ng tubig. Ang mga chemical na ito ay maaaring makakapekto hindi lamang sa mga hayop dagat, kundi na rin sa mga buong food chain na nagdulot ng panganib sa kalusugan ng mga tao kumakain ng mga sa dagat. Maaaring magdulot ang mga contaminant na ito ng mga sakit o kondisyon sa mga hayop na kaluunan o nakakaabot sa mga tao. Isa sa mga malaking problema ay mga microplastic na maliliit na piraso ng plastic na halos na hindi nakikita at mahirap tanggalin sa tubig. Ang microplastic ay maaaring may pasa mula sa organismo na patungo sa iba pang mga food chain na nagiging sanhi ng mga mas malawak na problema o ekosistema kapag ang microplastic ay pumasok sa katawan ng mga hayop dagat. Ito ay patuloy na naiipon sa nagiging sanhi ng mga problemang pisikal na chemical at sa kanilang sistema. Ang mga epekto ng mga basura sa dagat ay pangmatagalan at may posibilidad na magpatuloy sa mga susunod na henerasyon kung hindi ito maagapan. Mahalaga ang mga pag-iwas sa epekto ng basura sa dagat ang pamamagitan ng may mga posibilidad na magpatuloy sa mga susunod na henerasyon kung hindi ito maagapan. Mahalaga ang pag-iwas sa mga pagkatapon ng basura sa dagat, ang tamang pangangasiwa ng basura upang mabawasan ang pollution sa karagatan. Pagitan ng sama-samang pagkilos, maaari natin mapangalagaan ang marine environment at protektahan ang buhay at kabuhayan ng mga nilalang na nakadepende dito.